Alright, let me tell you guys a ghost story. That's right, I'm going to tell you about the time that I interacted with a negative entity during a ghost hunt. Alright, welcome to a special edition of Cosmic Road. This is Jack. Get in here. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. And please interact with me on social media. I would love to find you on Facebook and Twitter and talk to you guys there. So see the links for that below. And, of course, please comment on this crazy story as I'm going through it. Also, find other ways to support Cosmic Road in the description below. Oh yeah, so I've done ghost hunting for a few years now. I was an atheist for most of my life until I discovered UFOs, thanks to Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon and those guys putting out those Navy videos in 2017 that started me down my first rabbit hole, and that led me to a whole bunch of other rabbit holes, and I found rabbits down just about every hole, darn it. I mean, I was going to believe in UFOs. All right, you know, finally, when I saw a massive, overwhelming amount of evidence, I was like, okay, all right, that seems to be a thing, but I'm not going to believe in alien abductions. And finally, I went down that rabbit hole, and I saw the wealth of evidence for that, and like, okay, damn it, there's alien abductions. But you know, the occupants of these things can't be actually aliens. It's all got to be drones or something. Oh, damn it, there's occupant. Anyway, so I went down one rabbit hole after another, finding rabbits down every hole. And finally, I came to the mystical, metaphysical stuff, the spiritual stuff, because that's where the research goes. 1/3 of all alien abductees are near-death experiencers. People who have died, been to the other side, and come back. What does that mean? I don't know. But it does indicate a strong metaphysical connection with alien abductions. I also came across the Skinwalker Ranch material, where the Pentagon spent taxpayer money to investigate ghosts and cryptids, among other things, at Skinwalker Ranch. Now, when I came to that, I was like, well, they can't be investigating ghosts. Ghosts aren't a thing. That's ridiculous. And I went down the ghost rabbit hole. And damn it, there are rabbits down that hole too. At first, I assumed the ghosts were a artifact of alien technology, because again, I was still an atheist at that point. But after enough research, I was convinced that ghosts were a thing, alien technology or not. And you know, maybe some sort of extra dimensional, you know, bleed through of technology or something. I had no idea. But I wanted to get to the bottom of it, so I co-founded a ghost hunting group, and I began ghost hunting, and we looked out. Our first house, our first case, was this massively haunted mansion west of Austin, and it was just an awesome house to do a ghost hunt in. So much activity. I wish I could show you some of it, because we have some amazing video footage of it, but I can't, because we tried to get the rights to that footage from the homeowner, and they denied us. I think they wanted to see if they could sell it to somebody, but people don't really pay for that stuff. So, you know, even paranormal content camera, you know, so they thought they were sitting on a paranormal gold mine, and, you know, they weren't. But it really was a fantastic house with a lot of activity. I feel sorry for the homeowner and their family, because there was a lot of negative activity there. But once I saw that, you know, I saw shadow beings, you know, at least on our cameras, or the security cameras. I wish they were our cameras. Then we would have the rights to it. Although one of the owners was a lawyer, and he was very suit happy, so I probably wouldn't want to push my luck there. But anyway, through the course of my ghost hunting, I became convinced that ghosts were a thing, and furthermore, they were spiritual. It wasn't just alien activity. So this is a long-winded way of saying I began ghost hunting in earnest and taking it seriously, and taking the spiritual stuff seriously as well. And then I began to seek out other ways of developing myself spiritually. And this comes into the story. So, I started learning Reiki. One of my ghost hunting buddies was a Reiki master. I thought the whole concept of Reiki was pretty silly, honestly, woo-woo, new age hippie nonsense. But my research led me to Reiki. It actually came up many times in my research and seemed to be corroborated. It seemed like a real thing. So one day I let her do Reiki on me, and I felt the energy. I felt it. I've had Reiki done on me many times since then, and I don't always feel the energy. The glow, as I call it, the Reiki glow. And so I got really lucky my first time feeling that. Not expecting it, but it was the first time I had ever felt the force. That's what it was. That's what Reiki is. That's what Ki is, or Chi is. Reiki means universal life force. It is this mystical energy that binds the universe together and beyond the universe, higher dimensions. And you are channeling this energy from beyond. And so it is a truly magical, wonderful, spiritual thing. And when I felt it, my soul felt the spiritual energy in me interacting with my consciousness, with my being, with my soul, it was a truly transformative thing. I didn't think I had a soul. I didn't think there were souls or spirituality until I got into all of this. And then to be able to feel it was just truly, truly magical. So I knew I had to learn it. So when I moved to my present home in College Station, I sought out a Reiki master, a really awesome lady who is extremely talented. And she comes into the story, so bear with me. I know this is long-winded, but I've got to lay it out. So anyway, I had her do Reiki on me. I did not feel the glow, but she was doing a diagnostic session on me. And she identified every single medical disorder and every little hangnail, literally, that I had ever had in my entire life. She just laid it all out on this chart. And, at that time, I had really bad intestines, and I've talked about that before because I had a interesting experience with ayahuasca involving that. That was later on. But the first thing she did was sit me down and say, "Tell me about your gut." And so I knew from that session she was the real deal. And she taught a class on Reiki, so I took that class. And now I am a Reiki master, and I am very happy and, proud to be one. And, it's as close as I'm ever likely to get to being a Jedi. So, I'll take it, right? Okay, so moving on to the ghost story. Meanwhile, I was still ghost hunting. And we investigated this super haunted freaking abandoned hospital southeast of San Antonio. In this really creepy place, a large Gothic affair. It had a cathedral in it because it had been, a Catholic church at one point. It had a cathedral in the back of it. And it had a dungeon because it had been converted to a rehab center at one point. And the rehab center worked with the police, and they installed a prison in the basement. So, several jail cells. So it had a dungeon. It had a cathedral. It had a dungeon. It had ghosts. It was, 3 stories high. This big Gothic thing. It was a great, awesome, haunted location. And so we did a ghost hunt there, and it was haunted. It was haunted. It was, yeah. And so, if you know what a spirit box is, it's what ghost hunters use to communicate with spirits and interact with spirits, among other devices and techniques. And we had a very nice spirit box, and we went all around this creepy abandoned hospital, trying to find a spirit to communicate with us. We went to the cathedral. We went to the dungeon. We went all over. Nobody would talk to us. There was nothing coming from the spirit box. Not a thing. Then, as we were going from the second to the third story in the stairwell, all of a sudden the spirit box burst into curse words, just cursing, foul-mouthed, horrible curse words. And I mean, it was not a happy ghost. Whatever was there, it was not happy. And something scratched my female friend, my ghost hunting buddy, who had done the Reiki on me, on the arm. 3 scratches right on the arm. And I've got pictures of it, but it's not super compelling. It's kind of hard to see, but you could see it with your naked eye. And she was too scared to go on, and I don't blame her after being physically attacked by a invisible entity. And so we didn't proceed anymore with trying to find a spirit to communicate with. We went back to our base where our computers and our cameras were all set up, and our monitors for the cameras. And somewhere during the night, I started feeling really bad, this overwhelming negativity and hostility that I knew wasn't coming from me. And I just felt bad. I wanted to snap at everybody. It was just this bad feeling. And it kind of passed, but I didn't trust it. I knew something had happened to me. So 2 days later, I asked my Reiki instructor to do Reiki on me to find out, if there was anything going on. And she found something. She pulled what she said. I couldn't see it. Her third eye is fully open. She can see all sorts of stuff. She says my third eye is open in the front, but not in the back. Anyway, someday maybe I'll be able to see this stuff. But she was able to pull out a black slug from my middle, from my core, and she disposed of it. So it was, was it intelligence? I mean, obviously it wasn't a real slug. It was an entity of some sort. It latched onto me for some reason. Was that a possession or an attempted possession by some, malevolent entity? Or was it simply feeding on me? I don't know. I don't know what this thing was. She didn't know. She says the whole thing was very unusual and there were some other weird things associated with it. Typically, if she's getting rid of something negative in a person, she will open a portal and throw it into the portal and it'll be gone. She'll close up the portal. And I know that sounds pretty crazy, but the story is pretty crazy. And she's the real deal and she can open portals. So... but she said in this particular case, the portal opened on its own by my left ear. And she didn't open it. It opened it. She pulled the slug out of my intestine. The portal opened up. She tossed it in there and it closed up and was gone. She said she had never seen that before, where a portal opened up on its own. So I think that was, my higher self or my soul or my spirit guide, somebody looking out for me that really wanted this thing gone. And but I don't think it would have been gone without her help. So, that is my story of interacting with a negative entity. I think it's important to highlight at this point that during, the course of my experiences, which began around the time I started researching alien, UFOs, and opening myself up to the possibilities, I began having these metaphysical events happen for me. And leading up to a Kundalini awakening, then a divine healing, a miraculous healing of my intestine during an ayahuasca ceremony, cured a birth defect that has really governed my life. And just an amazing thing, just really changed my life. And saw a U.F.O make the shape of a cross in the sky. Was that a nuts and bolts vehicle, or was that something more metaphysical? Simply another in the series of metaphysical events I've had. I've had a ports. I've had a ghost cat. Visited me just a few days ago. Actually, a week ago today, to be honest. So, and it was very clear. I could see it. I could feel it. I think I even petted it. I didn't know it was the ghost cat. I thought it was one of my cats. And, anyway, I can tell you all about more of my various metaphysical experiences, communications from beyond, and etc. All of which will test your woo-woo threshold severely. If anybody's interested in testing their woo-woo threshold, let me know, and I'll tell you more about my spiritual / metaphysical events. They're like my Reiki instructor has had way more incredible encounters, been out of body, dealt with cosmic beings, just an incredible person. And there are other people that I have met that I've had way bigger and better, and well, I don't know about better, Kundalini awakening and divine miracle that healed a birth defect that governed my life is pretty great, I gotta say. But people have had way more elaborate and fancy, experiences where they've been to other dimensions and learned all sorts of stuff. And, so I don't want to set myself up as some sort of super experiencer. But coming as I am as an atheist all my life and as a non-believer in all things alien or spiritual or mystical or non-mundane, it has been a wild few years, and I just am really grateful for it and amazed by it. And I do feel the need to share the word, to let people know that this stuff does exist. Now, you may not believe me because I'm a crazy UFO guy, but I wasn't always. And, this stuff is real, and it's amazing. And, I'm just here to tell you my experiences. Think what you want and whatever you are comfortable with. I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe, but I hope that you have gotten something out of my crazy ghost story. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Please smash the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. Please join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. And please, if you enjoy these videos, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. See the first line in the description below, and there's 2 tiers of membership to receive exclusive access and videos. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road.